Hi everybody, it's Dr. Una. I just settled into my Airbnb in Boston. I came here for a conference and I figured I would reach out and share some value with you guys. I am a big believer in investments, right? Real estate, startup companies, I believe in building passive income. However, I also believe that there's a form of investment that sometimes we don't recognize, and because of that we do without the rewards. Okay, and the thing with investments, if you think about it, if you invest in real estate, even with a really good deal, you're looking at 3 to 5 years if you're going to hold and sell, to make some money off it. If you invest in stocks, everybody advises you to be in it for the long game, not to just invest and try to, get out in a week or 2 weeks, or when you notice the market seems like it's shaking a little bit. And the same way, this investment that I'm going to talk about is also something that you need to do for the long run. And if you have any friends who have invested in real estate, maybe they started 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and you look at the amount of wealth that they've amassed, and you're like, oh my goodness, I wish I started earlier. With this investment, it's the same thing. If you don't start 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, you're going to look at other people and you're going to go like, man, I wish I started off much earlier. So that investment is investment in yourself. You are your greatest asset. You are. So maybe if I give you an example, it'll make a lot of sense. It doesn't matter how much money Jeff Bezos has or Bill Gates has. Their real asset is themselves. And that's the reason why you could take a Jeff Bezos and take everything he owns away from him and give it to somebody else who is not invested in themselves. And he'll have to start from scratch. They would start, with, whatever obscene amount of money he has. But, but if you give it 5 to 10 years, somehow the money will find its way back to Jeff Bezos. And the person who was just given the wealth would either lose it all and be at zero where it was before, or would have been in a position to get a lot of debt, so would be in debt, but it's not going to be better. Jeff Bezos' biggest asset is himself. It's like, that's the portable wealth. That's the wealth. That's, the golden goose that keeps laying eggs nonstop. So investing in yourself is an investment that would, if you ignore, you'd have a lot of tears down the line. If you ignore, you're going to look for rewards that you're not going to have when you're older. Invest in real estate, invest in stocks, invest in startups, do all of that, but invest in yourself. You are your greatest asset. And you may say, how would I invest in myself? Well, the first thing to recognize is that it's going to take hard work and it's going to take some resources. So one of the ways you can invest in yourself is, by becoming a reader. And you might say, yeah, I've heard that before. But if you're not reading, then it doesn't matter that you've heard it before. It's not doing anything for you, right? So one of the ways is to be a reader. You've got to read. You just have to. I developed a few years ago the habit of reading a book a week, and so that's 52 books a year, and it's absolutely changed my life. Of course, I'm still on my journey, and the things I don't know and things that I'm learning, but I'm such a different person because I became a reader. And you might say, oh, great, now I'm going to do a book a week. But if you haven't been doing a book a month, chances are you're not going to do a book a week, and that's fine. But start from somewhere. If you haven't been doing a book a month, at least start with one book a month. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you got to control what you hear. And we hear a lot of stuff. Sometimes we don't recognize it, right? We hear and see a lot of stuff, a lot of negative stuff. Bad news is great news, is hot news. So that's, if you're given to the news or social media, it's mostly, negative stuff. It's not, it's not necessarily inspirational. So you got to control what you hear. You got to go out of your way to hear stuff. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to hear stuff that would let you know that, yes, this is a challenge, but I can absolutely do it. You've got to listen to podcasts or audiobooks or stuff that will help you in the areas where you're deficient. So listening to podcasts is something you have to do. And it could be podcasts, it could be audiobooks, it could be vlogs on YouTube or whatever, but you got to be deliberate about it, right? You got to learn stuff from it. The third thing that you have to do is you have to go for conferences and courses and seminars and stuff like that. It will cost you money, absolutely. but it will cost you more money not to do it, right? So it's one of those things you need to do. And you know what you need. If you're a business person, you know what kind of conferences you need to attend. Talk to people who've attended them before. Get out there and go learn new stuff. The problems that you're facing, it's not because you have really big problems, is because of ignorance. It's something you don't know. The areas in my life where I struggle the most is areas where there are things I don't know. It's my job to go learn them. So attend conferences, attend seminars, get out there and learn it. And it doesn't matter if it's not in your industry. So you're a doctor and it's not a medical, clinical conference. It doesn't matter. You go for a sales conference. You might say sales, the S word. But the truth is we're all in sales. I mean, sales is what got you into medical school. It's what got you to a residency spot. Sales is what you did to get that. If you're married, sales is what you did to get your spouse. Sales is what you do to, make your kids stay on the right path. So we all sell, but you've got to go for conferences. So number one is books. Number two is podcasts, whatever you're listening to. Number three is conferences. And then number four would be to invest in a coach. Again, you might say, I don't need a coach. I don't believe in all that stuff. It's like trying to lose 200 pounds without a personal trainer. It'll take you longer. You may never get there. So, get a coach, get a mentor, get someone who can work with you one-on-one and help you to get to where you want to be. So the question is, what do you want to do? How quickly do you want to do it? And how big does it want to be? If you want it big and you want it quick, and there's nothing quick, but quicker, then what you're going to do is you're going to need to read. You're going to need to listen to podcasts and faith-building messages and, stuff that would, things that would teach you, tax saving strategies, sales, marketing, how to manage money, how to do a proposal, how to do a pitch, how to build a company, listen to autobiographies of people who own their companies and listen to the struggles they had and how they overcame them. So you find out you're not special because you have problems in your business. Everybody has those, you just have to learn how to overcome them. And then third thing will be conferences and seminars and all of that. And the fourth will be a mentor or a coach. If you want to go big and fast, you're going to need all four. I will tell you, it will take you time, it will take energy, and it will cost money. But you are your greatest assets. Don't invest in real estate and invest in startups and invest in the stock market and not invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself, okay? So I flew out, flew over to Boston. There's a leadership conference at Harvard. So I'm going to be there for a few days and to practice what I preach. And who knows, I'll share some things I learned from that. But 2018 is not over. Start investing in yourself. There's nothing magical that's going to happen once we cross over to the new year. I hear people go like, 2019 is going to be amazing, or the next year is going to be amazing. Not if it's the same you. If it's the exact same you that shows up in 2019, you're going to get the exact same year. The only way to have a different year is for you to be different. And when I say different, I mean better, right? You become better. So there are things you didn't know that you now know. Maybe there are relationships you didn't have that you now have. You didn't have a mentor, now you do, so you can get things done quicker. And you can get, answers to questions that have been plaguing you for a long time. So invest in yourself, okay? All right, so just wanted to bring that your way. If it was helpful, drop me a comment, let me know. Let me know what you plan to do, which of the four, which combination or all four would be best, and then I'll talk to you guys later. Again, this is Dr. Una. I'm the CEO of Ivy League Pediatrics. I'm a business and career coach, and